Hi guys, thanks. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, the faithful fibromyalgia warrior, and I'm so glad to have you guys back joining me, so to speak. And I'm coming to you live from my room slash office. As you can see, sorry, from the window there. um, it's a really nice sunny day. It's Saturday, the 26th of June, and we finally have some nice weather. On my last video, I talked about how important it is that we put on the oxygen mask first before we try to take care of everyone else's needs. And I know I haven't uploaded anything for a while. I have actually been busy making sure to put the oxygen mask on myself. So basically, here's what's been going on. My fibromyalgia pain had been quite severe and quite significant, and my exhaustion was like it hasn't been for some time, and I just had no motivation. I didn't have really any desire to get up and do anything much at all, and just a lot of constant pain. So even though I would, and then of course my anxieties and my insecurities were creeping in the sense of, who am I? Like, who would bother to watch my videos? Like, why would anybody listen to me? And unfortunately, because of that self-doubt and the pain and the exhaustion, I haven't felt comfortable enough sitting in front of the camera to just be real with you guys and share how things have been going. So that's mainly the biggest thing. If this is your first time checking out my videos, thank you. Truly, thank you and welcome. My husband and I have been married just over 23 years. We have two sons. One is 20. He'll be 21 in October. And our other son just turned 18 a week ago. So all of a sudden, it's no longer my husband and I and our boys or our children. I mean, they're still our children, obviously, but it's my husband and I living with two grown adult young men, which honestly, I have no idea where the time's gone. I don't feel 48. I am, not ashamed to admit it. I will be 49 at the end of August on the 29th. In case any of you want to send birthday wishes, just say it. I don't feel 48. I feel almost as inspired as I did when I was 28 and getting ready for my older son to be born, which is incredible, really. And yet all this time is gone, and I'm not quite sure where it went, but there we have it. So time has gone quicker than I could imagine, and yet some days it feels like time is almost standing still. And I know there's a lot of you out there, and I think everybody feels that way sometimes. Like, all of a sudden, holy moly, where did this 5 years or 10 years or 25 years suddenly go? And then we have those days where time just seems to drag on. And for those of us who live with fibromyalgia or chronic pain or chronic illnesses of some kind, whether we have an autoimmune condition or a combination of things, which most of us do, those of us who live with symptoms like extreme exhaustion, a lack of motivation, often depression, anxiety, you can have both, and that's a real fun party in the brain of those two things fighting with each other. But we have days where things seem to drag on. And especially last week when the temperatures dropped down to, we had highs of between like 14 and 16 and quite a bit of rain. And so when the weather hit that, when we had that for the week, that's when I noticed my arthritis pain more. That's when I noticed my fibromyalgia pain a lot more. I don't know about you guys, some people I know, their fibro pain is worse when it gets really hot and then humid, or if it gets too cold and damp. And so for me, if it's 15 degrees but it's dry, because the barometric pressure is a bit different, it doesn't bother me as much as when it's raining. But today, like I say, it's about 22, but it's actually not that humid here, which is fantastic. So I get to go out, lay in the sun, get my vitamin D, enjoy this weather, and for me at least, I don't find my joints are swelling up too much. Not too bad. Only if I try to do too much. Pretty normal that way. But yeah, that's what's been going on. No major catastrophes, just life. Yeah. So it's been good though. Just with what I've been reading in my Bible lately and just in my prayer time with God, I've just found that I can be joyful whether the sun is out or whether the rain is out, and especially for those times where my pain feels like it's unmanageable, that's really helped me. I'll be honest with you, last week I had several times where I just wanted to cry because the pain was so bad. Oh, that's what I was going to share as well. Turns out, I went to see my rheumatologist on Tuesday for my 6-month regular follow-up. And when he had me do some bending and stretching to see where the pain was and so forth, he advised me that I'm also now dealing with an irritated SI joint, and also most likely inflamed. So SI, sorry, I'll tell you what that means if you don't know. It's your sacroiliac joint. So it's the joint that runs between your sacrum, which is the bone just above your tailbone, and these sort of flaring out parts of your pelvic bone. So there's a joint that runs on either side to attach this. So that's what allows you the movement in that area. And he said, because mine is irritated and probably inflamed, that would be why I'm having so much pain right on the left side, especially when I do certain moves. So turns out, good thing I checked, because I just thought it was just ongoing. I just thought it was fibro pain that had decided to flare up, a year or so ago. But in fact, that is not the case. So he's given me a couple of stretches to try, see if it helps. May or may not. We don't know. But I just saw that there have been some new people who have recently subscribed to my channel, and that makes me so happy. I'm not a doctor or a therapist or a physio, anything. I'm not. I just try to share what I've been doing, what's kind of been helping me, because then I hope maybe it'll help you guys. And one of the things that I found the most challenging in the beginning, so they suspect I probably had fibromyalgia for quite some time, but it was the spinal disc injury that I had in 2014 that really made it flare up, that really set it off. Because I had the disc, that squishy, I don't know why I'm doing these hand gestures, but the little spongy disc between your vertebrae. So mine, towards my L4 and L5, right at the bottom of my lumbar area of my spine, so just above the sacrum, the disc had bulged out. They think maybe it had been pushed out gradually over repeated falls and injuries as a kid, falling when I went skiing or playing ice hockey, whatever. I had a couple of serious falls when I was a bit younger as well. Fractured my tailbone at one point. I think it could have been that combined with the repetitive motion of bending over, getting laundry in and out of the washer and dryer, picking up after the kids, after the husband, picking up the kids. Who knows? They don't really know why it happened, just that for whatever reason, right then, that day, it bulged out. It didn't touch the nerve, but it got close enough to irritate the nerve. So that was a lot of pain. And that, they think, set off the fibromyalgia. So even though the bulge happened on the right side of the spine. I went to see an osteopath, and I did get a couple of adjustments to try to realign everything. So the thought is that perhaps that may have caused the irritation that started in the SI joint, because I've had that pain there forever, almost since the disc bulge happened. But, I had doctor after doctor after doctor saying, no, it's just part of your fibro. It's just, that happens with fibro, that's probably all it is, or maybe it's arthritis, but yeah, otherwise you're fine. So, at least I finally got an answer from the rheumatologist. So, if you don't have a diagnosis, if you're being sort of sent from here to there, from pillar to post, as we say over here in England, then just keep persisting. Keep trying to find other opinions if you have to, because unfortunately you may have to do that. You may have to constantly ask the same question of different doctors or specialists over time in order to finally get a result. So luckily for me, the rheumatologist was able to say that's what this is, like right off. So not that it changes anything for me, but at least I know why that pain is not going away and what sort of stretches could possibly help. So anyways, that was just kind of my helpful handy dandy tip for the day. In all honesty, I am so thankful for all of you who have subscribed, and anybody who's watching for the first time, please subscribe. Please feel free to share my videos to anybody who either lives with fibromyalgia or chronic pain or chronic illness of some kind, or if you know somebody who knows somebody, whoever you think it could help, please send it on. That's all I want to do is hopefully help someone else through this minefield of diagnosis by elimination of, okay, now you finally know what you're dealing with. How do you carry on and live every day? How do you manage everyday life? And I certainly don't have it perfectly figured out. I don't. I honestly don't. I wish I did, but I don't. But I would say that starting my day by praying to God and studying out His Word to help me see even more His great promises for me, that's how I start my day. And once I'm in the right spiritual mindset and I can see all the blessings I have, and therefore I try not to dwell on the things that I can't do anymore, it just helps the rest of my day and life, honestly. It just helps life to move on even better. That's a thing. And for those of you who don't know or who are wondering, I understand. I'm not saying, oh, just, pray to God and it'll all be perfect. No, not at all. But it helps me feel strength by praying to God and talking to Him and walking with Him and putting all my troubles before Him. And then I can go on and face life. And I'm still going to have hard times. I'm still going to have pain. I'm still going to feel challenged by things in life. But I know that I at least can get through it because I have my relationship with God. So I hope that helps. If you don't have that, or that's not where you're at, that's okay. You can start. I'm not here to tell you you must do this. I simply encourage you and say that this definitely worked for me, and it has helped me to be grateful for all the things I have, like I said, and I don't look with longing and disdain at the things I don't have anymore, or the things that I can't do anymore. And that's a huge thing, because otherwise I would be wallowing in depression and self-pity, and my anxiety would be through the roof, and it's not going to help me with my pain. It's not going to help anybody else in my family. So it's pretty important. And I hope that if you are a believer, that you are putting everything to God, and if not, then I hope somebody will you'll want to sit down with somebody that maybe you know, and ask them to tell you more, right? But obviously that's everyone's choice, and you know, I can't, I'm just saying it works for me. I think it could help everybody else too, but it's wherever you're at. And in the meantime, if that's not quite where you're at, that's okay too, you know. Um, find other ways to practice, you know, self-care, meditation, ways to try to calm yourself. Like for me, I have my Kindle that I like to read. I was outside for like 2.5 hours this morning reading a book on my Kindle out back, just laying in the sun, being part lizard, and it was great. Maybe it's sitting outside with a cup of coffee, or, you know, messaging a friend, or Zooming with family members you don't see regularly. Who knows? Whatever works for you. And I tell you, when you bring down the calm and the peace, it will make a huge difference in your pain levels. What you're eating is also pretty important, because there are foods that are extremely inflammatory. You've likely been given a list of some kind by your medical professional. Some of it great, and some of it, yeah, don't listen to what they're saying. Like for me personally, I follow a ketogenic meat-based diet, which means I can eat anything from the animal kingdom. Now, I hate, loathe, and despise fish. I don't mind seafood, but I hate fish, so I don't touch the stuff. But I eat lots of really fatty ground beef, bacon, egg yolks. I like sausages. I had a venison burger on Sunday for Father's Day. We went out. That was awesome. I love lamb chops, or leg, or shoulder of, you know, you name it, I love it. Now, I cannot handle any spices. So for me, I have loads of food sensitivities, loads of intolerances, and I have IBS. So I had to find a diet that where I could eliminate all the things that were causing reactions in my body. So that for me, at this point, I can only drink coconut milk. If I have milk in my coffee, if it's just a coffee, I'm okay, but I do get a bit bloated. So unless it happens by mistake, like if my husband makes me a coffee and he forgets, then I have my coffee with coconut milk or black. I can have a bit of butter, and I try to not have cheese. But again, that's me. I have to stay away from spices. I can't eat fruits or vegetables because the starches and the fibers, I cannot handle them or process them. But I get all the proteins, all the essential fatty acids, all the proteins and all the good fats, all of that I get from my animal sources. And that's what I do. I mean, it's helped me to, from a year ago to today, I have lost and kept off 55 pounds. I was that much overweight, inflamed, and so much pain and agony. And once I started to get rid of all the starches and the carbs, whether it was natural or processed, and the grains and the seeds, the pulses and the cereals, things that I can't digest anyways because of the IBS, once I got rid of all that stuff and I just stuck to the animal products, I felt amazing almost immediately. So like that's for me. That is what has helped me. And the way I eat is I eat when I'm truly, truly hungry, and I stop when I'm satiated and satisfied, you know. So I might not, I typically am not hungry before 12 o'clock. Sometimes I'm not hungry till 2 in the afternoon, and I'll make something to eat. And then we usually eat dinner closer to 7 or 8. So I will sit down and I may not eat the same things that everyone else eats, but I will eat something with the family at that time. And for me, that works. But like I say, that's what works for me. It may or may not work for you, but it has helped reduce all of my IBS symptoms. It has reduced the painful inflammation in the joints. It has reduced the bloating. It has reduced all the pain in my guts. And I feel much healthier. My hair used to be like straw. Okay, it's a bit frizzy today just because of how I was outside. But yeah, my hair is healthier. You know, my nails and my fingers and even on my toes are starting to come in healthier than they were before. They're not quite there fully, but they're getting there. So anyways, that's what worked for me. If you want to know more about the ketogenic protocol, I'm not an expert. I just follow it. I would say go to YouTube and check out Go Keto with Casey. There's also Carnivore Yogi. And also another one you probably want to check out is Nutrition with Judy. These are 3 women that I highly respect. They have fantastic videos, really easy and fun to watch, some great ideas, some do's and don'ts, if that's what you're interested in. For me, it took a long time for me to stop and go, am I actually hungry? Because I was bulimic for decades. So binging on things like peanut butter and chocolate bars and then purging later. Those are my 2, well, or any snacks found in the house. Those are my kryptonites. So the way I approach the ketogenic diet has actually, along with really making sure I'm walking with God and praying and reading my Bible daily, the 2 combined have really helped me to get to a place where I'm in recovery from my bulimia, from my disordered eating, and from my food addictions. So it is possible. Now, you may not have any of those issues, and if you do not, I'm so happy for you. But if you do, check out these other ladies. I know that Nutrition with Judy and also Carnivore Yogi both come from a background of issues with eating, with disordered eating, as well as food addictions. And so does Go Keto with Casey. So watch some of their videos. They have some really great advice because ketogenic protocol may not be for you. It may not. If your body can process and handle grains and seeds and small amounts of fruits and vegetables, then go for it. My body can't. And it's kept my inflammation down dramatically. So even though I'm still in lots of pain, hence the neck pillow, my pain medication actually works like it's supposed to. So that's a bit of a long share there with you guys, but I wanted to make up for the fact of not uploading anything for a while. But I'm not going to say sorry because I was taking care of myself, but I did feel bad that I didn't have anything new on YouTube yet for you guys. So that's what this is for. Thank you guys so much for your faithful support and for all your lovely comments. And as I say, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.